Hello and welcome back to Castlegoat. And to a dead mant. That is right, we've managed to take one of them down. Now, I've made numerous adjustments to this setup. First and foremost, let me just cover a fairly important one that I'm sure people have already posted comments on the previous video to point out. Previously, they were maintaining distance. That's not really ideal, especially when they are in effectively a completely safe position. You shouldn't have them maintain distance otherwise, especially when you've got marks known, because they're going to have that much more of a range. So they're going to have to try and get even further away to maintain distance. So that's been turned off, and I've gone back to Conservationist. Now, the main reason for the switch back to Conservationist is that they were using up quite a lot of ammunition. Now, whilst bronze blunderbusses and bronze ammo, they can do damage, but they're certainly not going to be able to punch through steel, or at least not with any sort of frequency. Anyway, so goblin soldiers would just be wasting ammo for them. And the other thing is that without a training room for these guys, they're not necessarily going to be getting any better at their actual weapon skill. As you see, they've already killed another mant. So this is effectively their training grounds. They come down here and they take pot shots at things to improve their overall gun skill. So I think it's more important to have the Conservationist attribute for the group. Secondly, I've gotten rid of that guard zone. I have made up my mind after much umming and ahhing and swaying back and forth in my attempt to try and decide what we were going to do. I have made a decision, and that is that we're not going to have a guard stationed down here. This is going to be a civilian, or really anyone who's not on duty and on military duty can pull this lever, and then once that's pulled, we'll pull the alarm, and everyone can go and hide. Though I might not even need to pull the alarm. Activate the alarm at that point. We also have a stockpile up here for the Gatehouse, and this is for ammo. This is a lower priority than the stockpile for the shooting gallery. Now, both this and the shooting gallery store bronze ammo specifically, and the barracks stockpile is for steel ammo specifically. If a fight ever gets this deep into my fort, I want them using the best possible ammunition that is available to them at that time. Furthermore, I've changed this from a guard position to a patrol, and it is the shooting gallery. I've set them up Twilight, Night, and Day Watch in much the same way I had them set up there. And I've also gone ahead and named this patrol route to Sentinel Stand. Now, any fans of A Song of Ice and Fire will no doubt recognize that name there. But for those who don't, well, go read the book. It's really, really good. And I don't consider watching Game of Thrones the equivalent of reading the book in this instance. Though I will say, from what I've heard from friends, they do a very, very good job of staying very close to the book with the actual television series. So it's probably not that far off, to be perfectly honest. I just like reading, I guess. But that is what we've set up there. So right now, we haven't seen anyone else come and attack us, and that's probably a very good thing. We are needing some clay, though, to finish off the roof there. Let's go down into the mines and see if we can't spot some. I've been digging into the walls wherever I found clay recently. I don't really want to... no, I'm going to leave that one closed. That one closed as well. We'll try and dig the clay out from over here. Another mantis died. Well done, guys. Either they're dying of starvation or you're shooting them. I choose to believe it is the latter. We'll mine a bit by there. I've also been expanding the mines down here a little bit, just looking for any other interesting things to find. And here we are. We have already found some. Yeah, let's just break that whole wall there. Anything else? No? Still digging away up here, though, which is quite nice. Ooh, some coal. I approve of this find. You can dig that out. In fact, why do I have this paused? Go ahead, full speed. Now, we'll dig all the way into there. Really, I should be excavating as much sandstone as I say. My God, that is fantastic. Well done. You're digging very, very fast there. Very, very fast indeed. Whoa. bit of lag there, actually. Let's go back up. Where was I? No one at the doors. That's good. Sometimes the lag is an indication that someone has just invaded. Invaded. I've been playing too much Dark Souls recently. That the goblins or mans have arrived on the map. I suppose it is an invasion. But I was full on thinking, you know, Red Phantom invasion there. But let's let you get through here. I would like a lot more clay. I may even start replacing the floors with dirt in order to get the clay up. But that is something I will wait until the next time I pause the recording to do. Ooh, here we are. Well done. You've found many good things for me to mine. I approve of this. Let's dig these out where we can. There we go. And even more over here. Perfect. Just dig all of that away. Ooh, we've got some coal here as well. Alright, let's get all of that. Now I'm going to have to make sure to close that up. So I'm not going to be able to wander too far away lest I get distracted and then not close it up and then wonder why we're being invaded by goblins from deep down in the ground. That would be bad times. But let's have a look over here. Oh, you're doing okay, and there's plenty of clay there for us to dig out. That's perfect. We'll get all of that, please. And as you can see, our gnomes are actually really efficient at the moment at gathering, at stockpiling items. I'm probably going to stop digging too much for now, just let them catch up with that, because we don't want any golems spawning down here. As fun as it would be to see whether our miners were up to the task of taking them out, I would rather not lose anyone. Not to that. If anyone has to die, they should die in battle. Not whilst mining. Alright, let's go back up to the top and check things out. We still don't have any golems. That is quite a disappointment. And we have a Mant over there. Are you alive, Mant? Or are you terrified? You've seen your friends slain every time they go to that side of the room, so you're holding back? Well done. I approve. Well, I mean, I would rather you be dead, but I approve of your sensibleness. I was about to say sensibility, but I'm fairly certain that is the wrong word. Now, how are things going over here? I would like to make those steel blunderbusses, but for now, steel is precious enough. We don't have any steel ammunition at the moment. But I've increased the amount of bronze ammunition that we're making up to 291. That should allow us to stockpile quite a lot at the various points, mostly the shooting gallery and Sentinel stand. Yes, the shooting gallery is full now. That's fantastic. I'm very pleased with that. Now, what else is going on? I imagine we're just going to have to pass some time now, unfortunately, and wait for the goblins inevitably to show themselves. We've got some rogue ammunition there just on the ground. That's not good. Let's clean that up, please. Thank you. And there we are. Some of the clay is actually being made into bricks. Fantastic. That hasn't grown over. Let me just quickly replace that floor with some soil. There we go. That should encourage it to regrow. Now then, the next project will probably be finishing that off. Actually, no. We've got these rooms. I've probably got the materials to finish that off. So I'll quickly do that. If they've actually built all the furniture, then I'll quickly get this set up, and then we'll assign these, and then I will pause the recording and wait for something interesting to occur. Dresser. We don't have all of the dresses yet. That is a shame. Okay, well, we'll hope. Can we get at least one room done? Because that would be quite nice. Cabinet. We've got some cabinets. Fantastic. We've got at least one room then that can be finished. Oh, exciting. Now, one thing did occur to me, and that is that I could have this leading out to a stairs down, and then I could have even more rooms down there. That might actually be something I go for in the end. I mean, I might move the majority of our fort over there, since quite a large amount of them do work in this area, and then that would allow me to reshape these rooms into larger rooms for those who work on this side. That actually might be a thing to start work on soon rather than later. I would also like to start enhancing the little stockpiles that I've got outside. Or, well, I've got one at the moment, but I'd like at least another 2 or 3. Ooh, whoa, 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 whoa. No merchants? Yeah, no merchants. And include a little ammo stockpile out there, because our enemies aren't necessarily just going to be able to attack us with ammo. They can pick the ammo up and, I don't know, throw it at us, but it's not really going to have the same effect as when shot out of a blunderbuss or a pistol. So I'm not going to worry too much about that, but it would be very useful if we end up fighting outside of the fort to have those stockpiles there. Now then, who are we going to move over here? We are going to move... Right, this is going to be our druids. So, amongst our druids, me, Revocane, and whom else? Whom else? I'm not even sure that's correct. Let's see. Druids. Oh, actually, Aavak, Revocane, and Smorvik. Well, Revocane will get a room first, then Smorvik, and then finally I shall have a room. So, Revocane, where are you? You'll be fairly low down, I think. Yeah, there we are. Now I just need to go and find Revocane's room and take it off him. Now, where are you going to be? Ah, there we are. First one I checked. Perfect. I approve. Right, that can be vacant for now. Alright, we are slowly improving things. Little by little. Right, I'm going to pause the recording there, and when you return, hopefully, it will be to goblins trying, failingly, to invade, so see you soon. And welcome back. As you can see, we are putting the finishing touches now onto the roof over the bedrooms, the tower of bedrooms for our sentinels. And, oh, a legendary emu statuette. Well done. Let's go check on that, shall we? What is it? The Whisker Plotter. It's worth 125. That's actually pretty good for a emu bone statuette. Exactly like a statue, but smaller. Now, we have a number of these rooms being set up now. We've got most of the, in fact, all of the dresses made. We're just waiting on the last of the cabinet. And probably the bigger change, I eventually opened it up. We went in and cleaned out all the mants. I actually sent the Poisonous Ancients in to kill off the mant who was adamant about not coming any closer to our blunderbuss-wielding sentinels. But we have, of course, placed in all of the traps. And I think it actually looks really good. I mean, it just flat out looks good to have all these little spikes and holes in the floor for blades and spikes to pop through. It actually really does fit the sort of theme of that area. I've cut down some trees outside in order to get all the parts that we need for the flooring in here, and obviously the bedrooms, the furniture for the bedrooms. Now, I've been having a bit of a think whilst you were away, and one thing that I've wanted to test for quite some time, but haven't really wanted to bring doom down upon the fort. But now that we have a trap system in place, I think it is time to do a little bit of diplomacy. Well, perhaps diplomacy is the wrong word. Well, I guess it is diplomatic in a sense, just not the way that people usually use the word diplomatic. One of the problems that we're facing right now is that we've got goblins coming very, very infrequently, about twice a season, and that really isn't very much. Previously, they would attack much more often, but they're 3 days, 9 hours away. Now, I believe that is both ways they have to travel for that, so it is almost once a season, but I think it works out a bit closer to twice a season they show up, but it's not often. And they're not coming in particularly strong, in particularly large numbers. They're arriving more or less as they always have, but just less frequently. So that means overall we get that much less goblin meat, ogre hides, etc., to feed to our gnomes. And obviously the steels, the worn steel items, which is probably the bigger problem. Now, we could send a tribute, and I've wondered how this would work. Too low. I guess this would be how we would stall the attack. So if we wanted to stall the attack, we would add lots of value. And wow, they want a lot for them to not attack us. You guys, it just went up by a stupid amount there. 2 legendary bond hands. They are still not satisfied. Oh, right, okay. So they only want 24,000 gnome bucks worth of stuff to be all right, we won't attack for a little while. You can have a little bit more time to prepare for our coming. No. That's not how this is going to work. We do not want to buy them off. We don't want them to not come at the moment. We want them to come more frequently, or at least when they do come, to come in much greater numbers. Now, oh my god. Okay, this is different. Oh right, okay. So, see, that's funny because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to see if we had any ogre skulls or skull helmets to send. But apparently, the only things we can send are things made of them in order to insult them. So we can send some goblin sandwiches, some 2-headed ogre leather, or some ogre leather straps. We don't want to send those because we're actually using those. But, alright, I'll send along some sandwiches. How much will this annoy them? It'll infuriate them to be sent goblin sandwiches. Let's pull this down and see at what point they stop being annoyed. Okay. So, just 1 will bring them to anger, and 2 will infuriate them. Wait, you know what? Yeah, we'll send them 10. We won't go the whole hog and send them 16. We'll send them 10. That's 500 on the insult amount. I really don't know how that's going to all play into each other. Now, who is going to be the brave gnome to deliver this message to them? It's not going to be anyone in our military because we kind of want them there for when they respond to this insult. We've got quite a lot of boosmiths and chefs, and I suppose it would make sense to send someone who had a hand in creating these masterpieces that we are trying to offer them. So, I think Evelyn, you are going to deliver your cooked, the poor goblin sandwiches that you may or may not have had a hand in creating, but I'm sure you've made some goblin sandwiches in the past, enough that you can talk the talk and convince them that it was actually your handiwork. Now, as far as I'm aware, they're not going to immediately be like, oh, this is Sparta, and kick Evelyn down a well. Evelyn will come back to us. If not, Evelyn, I am so very, very sorry. But it must be done. See, now I've frightened myself with just the thought that Evelyn won't come back. I'm so close to... No, we must be brave. Evelyn would want us to be brave. Wouldn't you, Evelyn? Yes, of course you would. Good luck, Evelyn. Now, you've got to go and collect all the bits and bobs, and then you've got to carry them out of the kingdom. Oh, this is... I'm a little bit concerned. That isn't... Is that Evelyn? Evelyn, best of luck. What does it say you're doing? You're hungry. Oh, no, you should have eaten well before you left. Oh, no. Don't do this, Evelyn. Please. This may be the last time that you had a chance to eat. Oh, we're sending Evelyn off on an empty stomach to deliver goblin sandwiches, actual food. That's the irony there. She's hungry and she's delivering food to another kingdom, a kingdom who won't want the food. Oh, that's just bad. Right. Okay, we want to build a wall in here to close this area off. So, no, that's not what we want to do. We want to go over here and select decorated stone. There we go. We'll seal that area off. Now, how many musket rounds have we got? There we go. So we've increased the amount of musket rounds that we're going to make the bronze ones. That should be enough, I think, for anything we need to deal with. Now, how are the bedrooms? Oh, the last part of this is coming in. That's fantastic. A honey badger. Ooh. Actually, poisonous ancients, I would like that honey badger. We wish to eat it. Go forth. This is just massive overkill. It's like using a nuke to swat a fly. Once, honey badgers were a very dangerous enemy, but not anymore. Certainly not against a steel axe. Wow, he's He's got wind of what's about to happen. He's having none of it. He doesn't want to be turned into a sandwich, apparently. You don't get a choice, honey badger. Oh, maybe you do. Maybe you do get a choice. Well played. Damn. Sorry, guys. Sent you out there on a wild goose chase. Or, more to the point, a wild honey badger chase. Right, okay then. Well, this area is now all set up correctly. I'm pretty happy with that. I've also built many more troughs. I'm not sure if I actually mentioned that in the earlier part of the recording, whether this was done before I paused the recording. I've had a little bit of a break since then. I needed to go make myself some tea, and then my neighbor popped round, and it was all go in Aavak's bungalow for a brief moment. But let's see, the total food currently is 145. That's gonna really help me in terms of my mushroom seeds. Or knowing how many of them I can afford to sell. Because once that's completely full, it really won't be hard for our gnomes to keep them full. Because the emus don't eat that often. And they'll only be taking a couple of seeds out every now and then. And a gnome will easily be able to just constantly top that up from the seeds that we have available. So really, once these have been filled at least once, then at that point I can assume that any mushroom seeds I have available when it comes to trading are not needed for food, because that would probably be enough to carry us through about half a year, at least 2 seasons, I would imagine. Now, let's have a look. We need to add the remaining furniture to the gallery there. So we're going to want... I'm going to use different coloured furniture as well. We'll have applewood on this side, I think. So 4 applewood tables. Let's get you going. There we are. And 4 applewood chairs. There we go. And on the far side, I think it should be birch. And I think, again, it's 4. Let me just double check. Yes, it is. Okay, so 4 birch tables. And 4 birch chairs as well. Okay, now, that should have given builders time to construct or finish building the furniture in the last few rooms. Right, so personal quarters. Now we want Smorvik. Are you going to be at the bottom or at the top? I think you'll probably be at the bottom. There we are, Smorvik and Aavak. Finally, an awesome bedroom. Now that does mean we've got 1 vacant room. I'm not sure who we're going to put in there at the moment, since pretty much everyone who works on this side of the fort now has a room in it. All of our boosmiths, all of our chefs, our flesh smiths, our tailors, our beastmasters, and our druids are all now housed. So that last room, I suppose, could be held for a future druid, because having 4 druids would be pretty nice. Now that does mean we need to find... there I am. Fantastic. Let's set that to vacant. And Smorvik, where are you going to be? You're not there. Edna. Metasapia. There we go. Okay. Now, with the amount of vacant rooms on this side, I wouldn't be surprised if we could just shift things around here a little bit and end up with 3x3 rooms as well. That would be quite nice, I think, to set it up for all of the people who work on this side. But what I'll do is I'll actually calculate how many people will need rooms. So how many lumberjacks and carpenters we have, how many dedicated miners and masons we have, and then all of the inventors and metal smiths. We don't need the armor smith and the weaponsmith, obviously, because they live in the barracks with the with our standing army. At that point, we also need... that's another good point. Actually, I'm going to start work on that right now. It has been long enough that I've been saying I will, and I haven't yet. So, how about... this is a risky thing to do, I realise. And that's why I'm going to do it on this side. I would like to deconstruct this wall for now. I'm going to send some gnomes out, and we're going to dig a hole across the dirt here to just separate it from the wall. We'll even do that all the way up to this, though I quite like that little area there being secluded. It's like a little cavernous area. But we're going to replace this wall with actual blocks. I think it's time. We've been holding off on that long enough, I feel. But this is a little bit of a risky thing to do, so... And now that's done, let's go ahead and just dig a hole all of this. We'll get this entire area lowered down. This one too, actually. Well, I suppose, you know, it's probably just going to be safer if I just do remove all of that. So let's go ahead and get all of that done. Once that's done, we can rebuild this wall. And then we can safely replace all of this stone and just remove this wall and rebuild it as necessary. We will be building some sort of stilts to support. In fact, how about I don't... Because I quite like the idea of having some sort of stilts to support the house that will be built. So we'll allow that bit of land there so that we can have some stilts coming up to support the building that we're going to make out there to have the house for the gem cutter and gem setter. We may have their workshop quite near this as well. Maybe just build their workshop around this area. I'm not sure about that though. I'm thinking I'd rather actually have their workshop in here somewhere. But if I'm going to the effort of having their living quarters outside, then I may as well actually have the workshop there as well. I could build a little sort of complex for the gem setter and gem cutter. Right, how long is it going to take you guys to get this done? And are we going to be invaded in that time? Because if we are, then this could be completely... This may completely invalidate our trap system. We could still be lucky, and our enemies might still try... Because they're closer on this side, they would try and path to the nearest way in. But I'm not sure if we're going to be that lucky. Let me just double check that everyone is okay. Yes? No one has died or starved to death? No? Good. For a moment then, I realized that I could have accidentally locked someone in there. That would have been rather terrible. And as you can imagine, because of the way that we've been setting up the tiling here, we could have someone stuck. But I don't think we have. I think we're safe at the moment. I think we're good. I'll just double check, though. I would hate to find out that someone had perished because I just hadn't paid enough attention. No, we're good. Okay, let's continue with the work digging down there. Almost done. In fact, is that overhanging? No, that's fine. Well, if they can get out there and do this a little bit faster, we should be good. But they are taking their sweet time. This is the unfortunate part of having my military also now training to be miners. It is going to mean that they're going to hit a lot harder when they actually do attack something, but it does take them a very long time compared to someone like Majesta, who more or less would have dug these holes with a single swing of his mighty pickaxe. Ooh, okay, we've messed that area up a little bit, have we? Ah. I didn't realize that would happen. That's unfortunate. Alright, we're going to need to fix that then. And we're going to need... Oh, and I didn't replace the floor underneath. That was bad of me. Let's go for this then. Right, I'm going to fix this up. Get all of that sorted out and rebuild that wall and probably put a little bit more dirt on top then. I'll just have to be careful and replace that wall carefully. But I'll do that off camera. And when you return, hopefully, it will be to Evelyn returning to the fort, having delivered her message, but not being immediately chased by extremely angry goblins. We just won't know until that happens, until she gets back. But I do hope you've enjoyed this episode. I hope you will be joining us for the next. But until then, and as always, do take care.